Oh boy.
There goes the neighborhood.
Well, I think I know the answer to this, but how is everyone feeling today? Happy release day. There's got to have been a lot of moments over the past few years. I mean, you guys have actually known each other even longer, that you thought maybe this would not happen, like that you've been waiting for this album to get out for so long. It's got to be a relief.
We forget that we didn't release it. Like continually, we were like, oh wow, it's not out yet. We've been playing these songs on tour for over a year, and it finally just feels so nice to be able to have it out for the fans and the rest of the world, hopefully future fans out there, to be able to actually go get it for themselves.
You guys did a surprise show last night here in Manhattan. What was it like? You set up by Penn Station. You just caught a bunch of commuters kind of on their way home.
Yeah, it was kind of amazing. You know, we had some of our team DNCE there, obviously. You know who you are. But we rolled up, and there was a giant stage set up outside of Penn Station, which is, you know, a New York City landmark. And I hope we brought the heat. I think we did.
You guys only announced it like 30 minutes before the show. Was something like that, at any point are you kind of nervous? Like, what if no one shows up?
You'd be surprised. We've had shows where no one shows up, so it's actually okay. We actually like the last minute surprise kind of feeling, and a lot of fans actually came out. It was really amazing and there was people that were just kind of vibing, crossing the street, like getting into it, would stop and check us out, and I feel like that's what it's about, just being able to learn and discover new music.
You guys obviously had an enormous year with Cake by the Ocean and now Body Moves. I'm curious, though, if we can go back to when you first decided to be a band. You've known each other for 9, 10 years in some cases. When did the conversations really start, like, we should put out some original music together and make this an official thing?
The conversation started, I would say, with Jack and I, it started probably 6 years ago. We were living together, and we talked about doing bands. We had band names like Tick Jack Joe.
There was
Bud
C-.
Heavy, C-.
Yeah.
And nice snort. I heard that was cute. That was cute. It's cute.
Yeah, girl.
So we talked about it for a while.
Right.
And then once it was actually time to get cracking, I mean, I called up Jack. I was like, hey, like, let's actually do this for real. And then Jinju kind of joined forces, and we met Cole, like, through a mutual friend. And I think for all of us, it was just the obvious thing for us to do. And yeah, sometimes it's not always this easy when you work with friends, because you could have a lot of different ideas and a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And for some reason, the universe put us together for a reason, because it makes it a lot easier.
Most of you were involved on other tours at the time. Like, what was Joe sort of saying that made sense, that you were like, you know what, Jack, maybe I won't go out with Garth Brooks. Maybe I will just join this band.
I love that this Garth Brooks story is turning into such a big deal.
Right?
Now.
Well,
He had a crush on Jack. I'm just going to say that.
We're friends. I was on tour like a couple different times, and Joe would be like, "Hey, we're doing this," and he'd call me, and like yeah, let me know. And then like a couple months would go by, I'd be like, "What happened? Like, what's going on, Joe?" And then I'd come home, and then finally he sent me like the demo for Cake, and it was like, "Yeah,
Right.
I'm working on this," and I'm like, "Yes, finally,
That
we're
made
gonna do
sense
it."
to you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's when it clicked.
You know, Joe, you sort of tried out a solo career post Jonas Brothers. What made sense, or why did you want to return to the band format?
I've always felt comfortable in the band, and I think in the time of my life, it seemed like the right approach, because I only had a short amount of time to really venture into a solo deal, project, whatever, and it was like less than a year, and I just rushed it. And I'm happy with the music that came out of that album that I was able to create, but ultimately, it's always been my closest to my heart to be in a band. I feel more comfortable and be surrounded by these amazing musicians, and they love music as much as I do, and they work just as hard as I do, and they don't stop. So it's a perfect fit.
So Jack heard Cake by the Ocean, a demo. Jinju, what was like the first thing you heard, or what was Joe kind of pitching for his vision of this band?
Well, it was out of the blue.
Okay.
I was in LA, actually in the Uber going somewhere, and Joe hit me up out of the blue. Like, he just called me, and he goes like, "Jinju, I have something to tell you." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "I'm doing this band thing, and I want you to be part of it." I was like, "Sure."
Okay. That was easy.
Yeah, and that's the story. And then he sent me the music, and I heard the Cake by the Ocean, and I had all of my hair just like raising.
That would be interesting to see.
yeah, it was. I got chills like all over my body, and I was like, I love the music, and I'm so in it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Joe, you were sort of like leaning into R&B even when you were doing solo music. How did you come back to this very funky, like power pop?
It's definitely the music we all kind of relate with. We like everything. It could be from hip hop to funky music to country music, but I feel like when it comes down to it, funk music is something that we all really gravitate towards, and I think that it felt like I've always wanted to go in that route. Like even when we first started writing, like I would work with writers or producers, and the music was like very sexy R&B stuff, and I never loved that. You know, I did that for a lot of years, and I always felt like you could be sexy, but you don't have to be like. For me at least, I didn't want to be very straight up R&B. For us, like, just it's fun to be able to be loud and crazy, but also kind of have that soulful message as well.
That's awesome. So the name, DNCE, I remember when you guys first premiered and we didn't know if we were supposed to say dance or DNCE. What happened to that lonesome A? Where did that go?
We were kind of drunk one night after, well, I mean, that describes pretty much every night, but we were texting each other. The music was sounding so cool, and we believed in the aesthetic idea of the band, but we needed a name. And we threw around a million ideas, but everything's taken these days.
Right.
And someone in a group text, we're all like laying in our bed, one eye open. Someone misspelled the word dance.
Okay.
And it just made sense. It was in capital letters, and there's 4 of us, and there was 4 letters, and we're certainly not perfect, and
Right.
neither is that word, but, you get the idea.
Right, that's awesome. And then let's talk about Cake by the Ocean. It was such an enormous success and sort of right off the bat. But I hear there's a lot of stories what it means. I'm sure you've answered that a ton of times. But also, Cake by the Ocean was just somebody missaid sex on the beach, the drink.
Yeah,
Where did that come from?
Everything about this band is a complete mistake.
Okay.
Or a
happy
happenstance.
accident.
Yeah, happy accident.
Right.
In the studio, these producers from Sweden, they were trying to tell each other a story.
Right.
And instead of saying the drink Sex on the Beach, they called it Cake by the Ocean.
Right.
And Joe has this comedy alarm or radar in his
Right.
mind. Like could be something funny happening like 4 blocks away, and he knows it right now.
He knows it.
Like he's like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he grabbed onto that and said, all right, that's what we're doing.
That's awesome. And then when, after you wrote it, did you think this is a hit, this should be the first single? It was immediate, you guys were unanimous on it, or how did it kind of work?
No, I think I was pretty shy to share it with people
Okay.
at first because it was like a weird song in my mind. I was
Right.
like, nobody's going to understand what we're even talking about because we just did it out of writer's block. We were like I said earlier, we were writing all these kind of R&B sexy tunes that I was like, I just don't feel like that's kind of where we want to go.
Right.
And then one day, like Cole said, the story happened and we just went for it. We wrote the song and we all kind of sat back and laughed and we're like, this is kind of cool.
Right.
So I shared it with a few people around me and they loved it and that kind of set the template for DNCE.
Right, that's awesome. It obviously shot to enormous success. It was everywhere. Where is the weirdest place you guys have encountered it playing in public?
We were in some strange European airport.
Okay.
It was one of those ones where the food court's actually by all the gates.
Right.
And we were standing there in the line at actually Wendy's. It's this fine dining restaurant. You may have heard of it. And it came on, and literally all the girls that worked at the lotion store and the jewelry store and all these places around, they all ran at us and took pictures with us in the Wendy's line. And that was one of the first ones where it was like, whoa.
Right, this is taking off.
There's cake everywhere.
Right. It obviously kept going and going and going, climbing charts. How much pressure did you guys feel after that when it came to writing the next songs or picking the next single?
I think, luckily enough for us, we weren't working off of an album that was out, and that's it kind of brings it obviously back to today. But we were able to just work off of one song and say, okay, if this could be the template for our album, sky's the limit. If we can talk about something that could mean literally anything to anyone out there, whether if it's literally just wanting to bake cakes in your kitchen to whatever else you want it to be.
Right.
It literally can mean that for you, and that's what it's about. Now it's just our anthem song. When we perform it live, it's a song that got us to where we are. So that's what it means to us. But we were able to really take a year to create that record and not put pressure on ourselves to really nail a certain sound or a certain type of song. We could really just have this open format and say, okay, cool, like a little bit more freedom walking into the recording process.
Like you said, it can kind of mean anything. What is the weirdest interpretation that someone has given you?
Yeah, there's been a couple grandmothers that were just like, little kids, I gotta break it down for you. I love listening to this song because I like to bake cakes in my kitchen, and I'm so happy someone finally wrote a song about it.
That's amazing. Do they like to eat them by the ocean as well?
It's possible.
Yeah, probably.
That's awesome. So obviously, we've now got an album that came out today, and honestly, Cake by the Ocean is very representative of it. It's sort of just like straightforward fun, which is a fairly nice antidote to a very serious year, especially in the music community. We've lost so many people. Is that sort of what the goal was? Did you guys just want to put together like a feel-good collection for everyone?
I think that was on our minds a lot. Yeah, I mean, we lost a lot of amazing musicians that we look up to, that we love, and I think we were very inspired by a few of them that passed. So, and yeah, like there's a lot of negativity in the world. So for us, DNCE, we just want to put smiles on people's faces, and hopefully the music and the album you listen to, yeah, there are emotions and waves of emotions in the actual album, but ultimately we really just want to be able to make people smile, have fun, take you out of that headspace for a minute, and just make you like want to dance.
Right. That's awesome. Something else that is very fun that I hear you guys have is a quote book on someone's.
Yeah,
Whoa.
How you know about that?
I don't know. She's got a spy somewhere.
I know.
I've got a spy on the inside.
Yeah,
We have a quote book. It's
I have a
true.
quote. We call it the quote sheet, and it's on my phone. And it's about like 300 notes from probably more, from the last year of like whatever we've either said or have done or overheard, and we think it's very funny. We just write it in this little.
Okay. Do you have any examples that you can share?
You have my phone? Can I see my phone?
You guys,
Of the mushy.
Yeah. Moshi.
you guys realize this is a very, very top secret inside look into our souls.
I'm just gonna have to make sure that it's like G-rated, because a lot of these are bad. I like this one. Jack, who the hell let us do this? Cole, the Lord.
There you go. It's good to be ordained from up there, you know?
I think
There you go.
Jinju said this about like a really tight dress. She said, I gave up breathing.
So it becomes like kind of a cool memory book, like that is kind of snapshots.
Yeah,
of the last
because
couple
half
years.
of them we remember the exact moment in the
Yeah.
city and the experience, and then some of them we're just like, we don't
Right,
have
we don't know
any
where this
idea
came
what
from
this
at all.
has anything to do with. Yeah.
Here's a good one. Cole, what am I wearing?
I still don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones in there.
Cole, what is your number one tip for finding clothes?
Well, I would never recommend to any other human being this.
Okay.
But my tip is trust your instincts and know exactly how you want to feel and how you want to present yourself every day, and don't let fear or other people's opinions ever even come close to the equation.
That's awesome. I like that. There you go. Yeah, boy. So your guys' new music video, Body Moves, is very, very sexy. Was there any nerves putting that out, shooting it? Where did the concept kind of come from?
I was nervous, like,
She was really nervous.
I was so nervous.
Okay.
We wanted the video to really match what the song says, and in the song we talk about being in a situation where you're wanting to be adventurous with somebody and be wild and crazy, and we wanted to have kind of the visual idea of what that is. And so yeah, it's a pretty sexy video.
Yeah.
And it was really funny on set that day. Jinju was pretty nervous, but Jinju would always
I was
tell me
nervous
because
for about like 30 minutes, and I was like,
and then you were
I'm ready.
then you were crazy. But it was quite funny because there was with Toothbrush, Jinju's like, when am I gonna kiss a model? And I was like, you just
I
wait.
took it personal.
So like the day of the shoot, we all walked into the room and there was just all these beautiful boys lined up.
Yes.
And we were like, pick one, Jinju.
Yeah.
And she just froze.
True
She didn't know what to
story.
do.
That's awesome. Looking ahead to some things you have going on, you guys just announced a tour for 2017, and you're doing things. And you're doing things a little bit atypically in that you're playing sort of smaller venues and a little bit more unique markets. Where was that decision coming from?
We wanted to go to some places and some cities that we hadn't been before. We wanted to play small rooms so that we could reach out and touch Team DNCE out there.
Sure.
And we don't like having time off. So a lot of the big tours start later in the year. We want to get right out there in the snow, in the cold,
Right.
play some loud music, sweat all over everybody, and make people happy.
Right. Is New Jersey sort of the hometown of the band? Where's your sort of hometown crowd?
It's kind of everywhere these days. I mean, yeah, we have like pieces of us. Sounds weird. We have our heart is in many cities. I mean,
Right.
yeah, like for Jack and I, yeah, we grew up a lot in New Jersey, and then New York City is the second home to us. We've got family in
Right.
Los Angeles. It's like Korea, so it's like
Right.
it's all over the world.
That's awesome. You guys obviously spend a lot of time in transit together. What is the number one way that you guys pass time on the bus or to sort of blow off like cabin fever steam?
We make fun of each other
Constantly.
20 hours a day. And then we have dreams about making fun of each other when we're asleep. No, I don't know. We're like the X-Men meets the Babysitters Club.
Right.
We love being around each
Right.
other. We love everything about playing music together, but also we're brother, sisters, sister, brothers all day long, and we hate being away from each other. That's how we pass the time.
Separation anxiety sets in how soon after you guys have departed?
Like less than 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
We're
bad.
like we're texting each other like, "What you doing?"
Like if Joe goes to the bathroom, I'll be like, "Where's
Doesn't
Joe?"
feel right.
Nah,
There you
it's
go.
wrong. It's real wrong.
I hear you guys have a pretty cool appearance tonight in New York. Do you guys know what's going on there? Do you want to preview it for people who are out there?
We're gonna be at the
What?
Harmon store later on tonight.
Sounds like some people from here are going to
Yeah,
go
we're
with
just
you.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna hopefully you can show up and say hi and hang out.
Right.
But we're gonna be over there and just showing some love to fans, and I think they're gonna be able to I guess we get to be able to say hi and take pictures and stuff like that. It'll be fun.
Awesome. I think we're going to take some time to answer some questions from the audience.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Megan.
I'm Megan.
Hi.
Hi.
What song on the album are you most emotionally attached to?
Naked.
Yeah, boy. You wanna go? You guys wanna go?
Let's all do one, yeah.
I'm gonna say good day.
Good day. Cool.
Yeah.
I really feel some cool freedom, free love feelings when I listen to Unsweet.
There's a song "Truthfully" on the album that I felt pretty connected to. Yeah.
I love Almost.
Do you guys have a song that maybe like leading up to today you were most excited for people to hear that they hadn't gotten to hear yet?
Yeah, it's cool. Like we kind of tend to forget that a lot of the music that's on the album, we there's a few that we weren't playing live yet. So like Unsweet, Almost, Truthfully. I'm trying to think what Be Mean, Zoom. Yeah, a few that probably they haven't heard yet. So it's fun to like see the reactions or reading online about what songs they like more or they're like attracted to. So it's really cool, and it's just great to see the response.
That's awesome. You have another question?
Hi.
I know you guys have them. What are some weird fan experiences you guys encountered?
I mean, they're so weird. Our answers are so weird that every time we get asked this question, it's the same answer. I had a lady break into my tour bus, and I got on the bus, and she was sitting on the couch in the front lounge, and she stood up, and she just handed me a stack of studio quality photographs, like glamour shots, of her pet skunk. Whoa. Of her pet skunk riding like a Pimp My Ride skunk
No way.
go-kart. Like
True
a
story.
skunk motorcycle. And I took them, and I was like, I didn't know if she was gonna try to murder me or something, so I was like, thank you. And then she left, and that was all she wanted to do.
Have you been able to figure like any tether as to why she would think that's something you would want?
Madison, I've spent half my life trying to unravel this riddle in my mind, and I don't even have one scenario where this made sense.
Where this could make sense. Nothing on the Instagram that could possibly lead her to the skunk.
Just for this story, though, you've gotten a great story out of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I have stuff to say now.
Right. That's true. You have an answer to these questions. Do you have another question?
Hi.
Hey,
Hello.
girl.
First of all, congratulations. You guys, your music really brings the most happiness to me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Out of
Key.
anyone.
Oh, so sweet.
Okay, so what is your favorite song on the album and why?
Oh, that's tough. I think it probably changes every day for me personally, but I think right now in this day, I would say Unsweet is kind of it's for some reason it's I can visualize it playing it live, so it feels really nice to listen to it and think about what we're gonna do.
Does anything else stick out to you guys?
We played Truthfully this morning live, and it felt amazing, and I love that song.
I gotta hold my little baby girl called Cake by the Ocean, because she let us kick in a lot of doors and show the world kind of who we are as a band. So, you know.
That's awesome. Jack?
I think I'm gonna have to go with Good Day again
Okay.
because
I like it. Stick with it,
if,
Jack.
if we go out drinking tonight, we're gonna feel tomorrow that
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna need
Gotta
that to get us
celebrate.
through.
But I felt like that this morning a little.
I like the
Oh, yeah.
consistency. And we've got one final question, actually, from the audience.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey. Awesome to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was wondering, as musicians and performers, what are some interesting rituals you guys have before shows or warm-ups that you do? Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm
Thanks.
just seeing if like we're allowed to show what we actually do because it probably can't. It's a little rated R.
It's dicey.
But we do a lot of different things. You would think it's a joke, but it kind of gets started as a joke. We did all these things, whether it was like slap each other, like push-ups, jumping jacks. We'd scream at each other, and then we do like this chant together. And then we listened to like early 2000s, like semi-bad, good rock.
Never made it as a wise man.
And then we did it like as kind of like, oh, this is so funny. But
Right.
then we realized it would really get us into the mood to like go on stage and feel like loose and have fun and be in that DNCE mentality. And so now we can't play a show without Smash Mouth and Nickelback. Like if we don't go, like if we're not playing that before a show, the show's not going to happen.
I'm like, Joe, you haven't played any corn yet. What are we doing?
That's awesome. That's all the time we've got for today. You guys, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you guys. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Love you guys.
Love you guys.